Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about chapter 5-6, which is on parallel and perpendicular lines. So we're going to be using the formula we just talked about, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we're going to be using that to find parallel and perpendicular lines. So a parallel line is a line that never crosses the other line. They have the exact same slope. That right there is very important for what we're going to be doing. Okay? A perpendicular line is lines that intersect and form a 90-degree angle. Their slopes are negative reciprocals, and we will talk about that when we get to perpendicular lines. So we're going to start with parallel lines. When we're doing this, we need two things. Okay? We need to know what the slope is going to be, and we need to know a point. If we know those two things, we can do this. So these steps, write the point in point slope form. Remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then we're going to solve it for y. So we're going to distribute, solve for y. So write the slope intercept form of equation that passes through -1, -2, and is parallel to this. So we need two things. We need a point, which they told me is -1, -2. Now I need a slope. Well, we just talked about parallel lines had the exact same slope, meaning if I know the slope of one equation, I know the slope of the other equation. So the slope of this equation is 3, because slope is the number in front of x, meaning the slope of this equation is going to be 3. So now that I have a slope and I have a point, I can start plugging in y minus -2, because that's my y value, equals 3, because that's my slope, times x minus -1, which is my x value. I'm going to change those to pluses real quick. And then we're going to distribute. So y plus 2 equals 3x plus 3. And I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So y equals 3x plus 1. And that's going to be my answer for a parallel line. Okay? So that is parallel lines. That is how quick they'll go. So like, look at this next one. We need a slope and we need a point. I'm just going to put a point right there. So they're telling me that I need to find a line that passes through 1, -3. So there's a point I need, and is parallel to 2x minus 1. So that means my slope is going to be 2. So we're going to start plugging stuff in. Y minus -3 equals 2 times x minus 1. So we're going to distribute. Y plus 3 equals 2x minus 2. Subtract 3 from both sides. Y equals 2x minus 5. And there's my answer right there. Let's try another one. So we need a slope and we need a point. So my point, it tells me, is 4, 2. And my slope is parallel to 3x minus 7. So that means my slope is 3. So y minus my y value equals my slope times x minus my x value. Distribute. So then I have y minus 2 equals 3x minus 12. Add 2 to both sides. Y equals 3x minus 10. And that's a parallel line. So that's how you do that. Very simple, couple steps, and then you're good to go. Perpendicular is where things get a little different. So when we're working with a perpendicular line, we need two things. We need a new slope, and I'll show you how to get that in a second, and we need a point. So when I need a new slope, what I mean is perpendicular lines cross at a 90-degree angle, meaning our slopes are negative reciprocals. I'm just going to rewrite this one real quick for you. So we're going to say this is going to be y equals 1/4 x plus 1. So we need a new slope. So when I say they're negative reciprocals, what you're going to do is they're going to take your old slope. So they're telling me my slope used to be 1/4. You're going to flip it, okay? So now it becomes 4 over 1. And then you're going to change the sign. So it was positive, now it's negative. So my new slope is -4. My point is -3, -2. Once we have those two things, it's the exact same as parallel. So you're going to go y minus -2 equals -4 times x minus -3. Change those to some pluses. Y plus 2 equals -4x minus 12 because I distributed. And then we're going to subtract that 2 from both sides. Y equals -4x minus 14. Okay, so we'll do a couple more. So right here, we need a new slope and we need a point. So first off, we're going to figure out our point, which is easy. They tell us that is -2, 0. And we need a new slope. So my slope here, there's no number in front of x, so that means my slope is 1, or 1 over 1. So I need to flip these, and it stays as 1 over 1, and then I add a negative to the front. Okay, so then we have my new slope is -1. So now I have y minus my y value equals my new slope times x minus my x value. So I'm going to distribute y minus 0 equals -1x minus 2. And if I add 0 to both sides, it doesn't change anything. So y equals -1x minus 2. Okay, now they will give you some problems like this today. The first thing you need to do is you need to get y by itself. So what I do is I'm going to take this 3y equals 5x minus 7. All I did was flip that around so I could get y on the left side. These say the exact same thing. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. So y equals 5 divided by 3x minus 7 over 3. So I need a new slope and I need a point. Okay, so my point is easy. 8, -2. My new slope. So here's my old slope. I got that by simplifying that equation. 5/3 is my old slope. So I need to flip these and then add a negative out front. And if there's already a negative out front, then it becomes a positive. But there isn't one right now, so then now it's a negative. Okay. So now I can start plugging in. Y minus my y value equals my slope times x minus my x value. And this isn't going to be a fun one. So y plus 2 equals -3 over 5x plus, this is going to be -3 over 5 times -8 over 1 gives me 24 over 5, which is 4 4/5. Now I subtract 2 from both sides, and my answer is y equals -3/5 x minus 2 4/5. And then you're done. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully we're understanding this. Thanks for watching, guys.